This is an issue of human health, so it's critical that everyone get involved, regardless of party, regardless of political philosophy. Democracy is not a spectator sport.
These are industrial chemicals, and their intended use is outside the body, in products or in industrial uses like putting out fires. One of the most common uses was in Teflon nonstick pans. They've been used on furniture, and what goes onto the furniture also gets into the dust. You accidentally breathe it in, and it will get into your blood that way. Another way is these chemicals build up in other animals that end up in our food supply. And since about 2002, the EPA has been working with various industries to phase out some of them.
The contamination caused by Wolverine worldwide came to light in August 2017. There were three initial stories. There was a story in late August related to PFAS in the river in Rockford near the site of the former Wolverine tannery. That was followed up by a story related to House Street and the fact that they were finding these toxic chemicals in private drinking water wells, and the third story was that they were finding they discovered that Wolverine had dumped its tannery sludge at a Superfund site in Plainfield Township that is a known contributor to PFAS that's been discovered in Plainfield Township's municipal system.
Well, we got involved because we were contacted by residents. So this started on House Street in Belmont when residents began to learn that they may have been drinking contaminated water. They obviously were worried about their health, they were worried about their legal rights, they really needed to consult with someone to find out what to do. We began investigating the background of what was going on, understanding better the chemicals at issue, the test results that had been done, the status of the investigation, the role of DEQ and EPA with the situation. Based on that investigation, we agreed to represent various residents in the case, and those cases were formally filed in November of 2017. So we're seeking documents and information from Wolverine. Some of that's been provided and much of it has not. And we've started the deposition process, talking to former employees of Wolverine, current employees of Wolverine, other fact witnesses, people who are familiar with the dumping that occurred in the 1960s, and doing a lot of other research into the chemicals, a lot of work with experts who understand both the chemicals and how they affect people, that understand how they move in the groundwater, a whole variety of different things that have been going on.
So basically the focus has been on PFOA and PFAS, which are discontinued and used to be used. We don't know what year they discontinued them, but we have replacement chemicals in the same category that are showing up in our water. So the private well owners get their test results, and the state said, yes, you're under 70. So their takeaway from them, which is appalling, is if you're under 70, you're safe.
It is much, much lower. Somewhere in the order of 12 parts per trillion, at least for one of these chemicals.
The focus is on PFOA and PFAS because that is all federal regulation has focused on for many, many years. They haven't added to that list. In fact, a corporation such as Saint-Gobain uses a slew of chemicals in the same class, and by our own laws in this country, they don't have to disclose what exactly they are. And if we want to test for them, it's a seek and find mission. We're supposed to guess what to test for.
We need industry to make stuff, to make people have money in their pocket, have a job to go to, but yet it's causing this earth of ours to be polluted, poisoned, and eventually people will be dead.
There are maybe countless PFAS contamination sites around the country, and they affect any number of things, other industries, airports, municipal water systems, and rivers, fishing.
These chemicals are bioaccumulative. They build up in your blood. You cannot excrete them from your body, and they wreak havoc on your system. And even if you could get rid of these chemicals from your blood serum, the damage is done. The disruption starts in the brain, in the endocrine system, and they're just absolutely horrific, the whole class of them. These labs have preferred agreements, and the only people who can work with this Wadsworth lab in New York, which is what they've used, is the state of New Hampshire, and businesses can order blood work from there. So a resident cannot get their blood tested, whether their doctor orders it or not.
And after spending decades here in Oscoda, Michigan, which I love, with my family and friends, start over. A lot of them have gotten sick, and some of them have died. And a lot of the people I know just think, it's another problem the government will take care of. People need to wake up and get involved. Our government's not going to publish on the front page of the newspapers that potentially 110 million of you are drinking bad water. It's out there. And they don't have all the answers. We know that. They might be able to clear the water well enough, but this stuff is in the ground. It's going to leach until they figure out how to remove it so it stops leaching into your drinking water.